Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, little update on the new and improved carbon nanoalloy factory. Um, After playing around with it for a little bit, uh, found that one bank of batteries, the 10 of them here, was not enough to last through an entire night. So, I had to add a second bank of batteries here, and you'll notice I moved the batteries over here to the opposite end of the factory. So all of the solar panels are over here, and I added one more in there just to make the link right there. But then I had to move the batteries over here because this battery bank was originally right where that solar panel is. So the batteries were in between the solar panels and the factory itself. And when these batteries ran out of power, the factory would shut down. And then when the sun came up, the solar panels would charge the batteries first, but the entire factory would be shut down and it wouldn't reset. So it's running right now, and that's because I put the batteries on the opposite end of the factory itself. So the power from the solar panels runs straight into the factory, goes through the factory, and then ends at the batteries. And then when the sun goes down, the entire factory switches over to battery power. So this works because if the batteries are actually sitting over here on the left side by the solar panels, it interrupts the power and none of these machines will reset because the power gets interrupted. Now, I did have this running just a couple of minutes ago, and I only had the one bank of batteries. It didn't last the entire cycle, so the factory shut down. However, when the sun came back up and the solar panels kicked back in, they started feeding power into the factory itself, and there goes all of my solar panels because nighttime just hit. So now the entire factory has switched over to batteries. But because the batteries are at the other end of the chain, this doesn't interrupt the power flow. So even if those batteries run dry, when the solar panels kick back in, the factory just picks up where it left off and keeps going. So there's that. And also, over here on the left side, I kept my drawing of the old factory. And then, of course, I went back and I referenced the video itself. And I recreated the old factory over here. I haven't connected any of the platforms together or anything, but this is the old factory. And as you can see, if you take a look at the two of them side by side here, the old factory is only this big, the old factory is this big, whereas the new factory is only this big. It's probably about half the size of the old factory as far as the footprint goes. So, my estimate on how much smaller I had made the new factory was a bit low. I figured probably about 20-30%. And actually, looking at it right here, uh, it looks to be probably about 50% smaller than the old one. So, yeah, just so you know, if you're going to copy my layout here, which really go right ahead, I don't mind. I put this here for other people to copy, you know, to make your bases more efficient. So you can see it's working on this bank of batteries and it's starting to drain this bank over here. But we've still got 3 batteries with power over here, and all of these have power. So I'm hoping that this will actually last an entire night cycle. Uh, Maybe we should just wait it out and see. Perhaps it will. I'm really hoping it does because each of these batteries stores 512 units of power and it produces 5. So we're looking at 50 units of power on this one and then 50 units of power on this one as well. We've got a combined power of 100 units output from these two, and the entire factory itself uses just slightly more than 100 units, about 102, 105, somewhere around there. So let's see. Is this actually going to last the entire night? So 3 bars left on that battery. It's the last one over on that bank. And we're working on this set over here slowly. So it's not draining all of the batteries at the same time. It's taking it from here, then here, 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 and it's working its way through that entire bank. Okay, this one is now empty. So all we've got now is 50 units of power coming out of this bank over here. But where's the sun? Sun is right over there. You can see the clouds are starting to get a little bit lighter here. So the sun is coming up. The very first solar panel to catch the rays of the sun is probably going to be this one right here. And then this one, and then it's going to be this end, and then it'll work its way through these ones. Here she comes. And we're almost out of batteries. We've got juice left on 5. So let's see. Who's going to be the first one? Tilt and catch the sun here. Here she comes over the horizon. And the first one, probably going to be this one right here. Come on, sun. Let's go. Thing is how the rays of the sun are up here and they're working their way down. It just makes sense that that's the first one to catch any sun. And I've got 3 batteries left. Come on. Somebody start catching some power here. We're almost done on the batteries. Oh, there we go. 4 on the end over there. Okay. So now we've got power running in from 5 solar panels here, but it's running through the factory first and then over here to the batteries and charging them. And there we go. We've got there are actually 13 solar panels here. There were originally 12, and then I added this one right here. So the solar panels are definitely putting out more power than the factory itself needs. There we go. Uninterrupted. Or at least it should be. Oh no. Well, it didn't interrupt last time. Oh, no, it's still going. That is still running. Okay, the atmospheric condensers are still running, but it looks like something got interrupted here. Because that is not melting anything. Those two are full, and none of the factories are actually running. Uh-oh. I may have to restart. Yeah. So I've got to restart that factory. And have we... Oh, I ran out of gas. That's why. Okay. So the whole reason the factory stopped is because the nanocarbon chemistry lab here ran out of gas. Actually, it looks like they all ran out of gas. Yes. All of my gas canisters are empty at the moment. So that's why the factory has stopped. The resource canisters, we've got 144 here, 55 there. So the resource canisters are getting low, except for this one. This one's got 160 nanocarbon alloy in it right now. But That's as much nanocarbon as we can make with a full gas canister over there. So that had 160 gas in it, and that ran out, but it produced 160 pieces of nanocarbon alloy. So the batteries are full. The solar panels are tracking the sun up there. The factory has shut down only because of my negligence. I forgot to refill my gas canisters. But yeah, so that is something to consider when you're building this base is put your daytime power source on one side of your base, like these solar panels, but then place your backup power, your batteries, at the opposite end of the factory itself. And then when the sun comes back up, the power will flow from the solar panels through your factory, keeping it going, and charge your batteries at the same time. So, yeah, there we have it. The old nanocarbon factory on the left, and the new nanocarbon factory on the right. Bit of a size difference between the two, and that is what I was aiming for. Slightly more efficient. I think new one might use less power than the old one, but I'll check into that. I'll add up the numbers here, all the auto arms and the atmospheric condensers and the chemistry labs and everything. Uh, we might be using around the same amount of power, but I think the old one uses a little bit more because there are like 10 of these auto arms around here that are grabbing stuff. So I'll have to check that out. And I'll let you guys know. And I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.